sorry. The doctor has a very full schedule today. Can I schedule you for, next month? Oh, you cut your foot off. Look, I can't hear if you're gonna scream like that. He seemed upset.
I've got to see a doctor.
Take a seat, please.
I've got to see him now.
That's impossible. How can you see him when he's behind that door? What seems to be your problem?
Which one?
What?
Which problem?
Medical?
My leg is broken.
Have you seen a doctor?
What?
Never mind. Please have a seat.
I can't. My leg is broken.
Then don't sit on your leg. How did it happen?
You've been there?
I've been there.
We've all been there. A hectic doctor's office is definitely not the place you want to be.
If you're seeking emergency medical care.
Watch the craziness unfold in
The Doc Shop.
By Ken Bradbury.
I was backing out of the grocery store when this lady tried to cross behind me with her shopping cart. I backed into her.
And broke your leg.
I got out of the car. She chased me across the parking lot. I jumped the fence at the hardware store and landed in a display of garden tractors.
And you broke your leg on the garden tractor?
No, she was still after me. So I jumped on the tractor, took down the highway, and jumped in front of the UPS truck.
And broke your leg?
No, the truck swerved, hit a telephone pole, and the pole came crashing down on my tractor.
Then you broke your leg?
No, I saw it coming and I jumped off. I ran through 5 layers of traffic with this crazy lady pushing a shopping cart right behind me. So I jumped into the back of the passing pickup truck.
And broke your leg?
No. The pickup truck stopped. I came running into the only building I could find, this doctor's office. And I broke my leg coming up the steps.
And the lady?
Did she come in here?
Where's your restroom?
Right there, but...
I gotta hide.
I saw her come in here. Where did she go?
Ma'am, do you have to bring the shopping cart in here?
Got to. Got fresh produce in here. Is the doctor in?
Yes, but he's very busy.
Oh, then I'll wait. I sprained my back jumping over a UPS truck.
Please, perhaps if you went to a hospital?
Oh, yeah. And then my ice cream would be melted all over my hot rolls. I'll just wait here.
Is she here?
What?
Oh no.
What was that?
The doctor?
Good. Then I'll see him now.
No!
But he just asked for me.
His wife? He was looking for his wife?
How can you lose a wife? Was she small?
Please, just have a seat.
Nurse, has my wife called?
I thought you lost her.
What's she talking about?
Nothing. No, doctor. Mrs. Misery hasn't called.
Good. I'm in trouble. I was supposed to take her to lunch today, and I forgot. If she calls, I'm not in.
Yes, doctor.
Is he here?
Mrs. Misery.
Your husband just said he wasn't in. Oh. What?
He's very, very busy.
He's always busy. He says he promises me this and he promises me that and nothing. He always forgets me. Oh, there, honey. You want some ice cream? Hot rolls? I need to powder my nose.
Don't go in the restroom.
I think I have a right. Is someone in there?
No, nobody in there.
Then get out of my way.
This restroom is off limits.
What?
It's being repaired?
I'm not going to sleep there. I just need a tissue.
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
Listening.
A little personal, don't you think? You always do that?
I'm waiting for an explosion.
But she just wanted to blow her little nose. Shh. Oh, good. While you're busy, I'll go see the doctor.
Don't go in there!
Oh!
Where did you come from?
I crawled out the back window. There's a woman in there.
I know.
Thanks a lot.
And your cart lady's in the doctor's office.
She's still here?
Nurse, did I tell you to send in another patient? I was just in the middle of Mr. Bradbury's exam. He wasn't dressed.
Oh, I feel better now.
Oh no.
Who are you?
I drive the UPS truck.
When's my husband coming in? We're an hour late for lunch already.
He didn't say.
But he was just...
Go to the restroom.
There's a naked man in there.
My husband?
Does he have a mole right above his?
That's a patient, Mrs. Misery.
Then the doctor's there.
Is she?
Yes.
Who was that?
The UPS man.
In the restroom?
He's resting.
Is she?
Yes.
Was that?
No.
Why are the police surrounding my husband's office?
What?
Thank goodness they're here.
You called them?
I told them I was chasing an attempted murderer. Told them I was heading this direction. He's around here somewhere. Draw your guns, boys. Get the dogs and the tear gas.
Oh no.
What's going on?
Are you all rested up?
What's she talking about?
You've got to get out of here.
Good idea.
No, not that way. Here, crawl out the back window.
Oh, my nose is running again.
Who was that?
The UPS man
Where's my wife?
in the restroom.
She's sick?
No, just very angry at you.
Oh no, I've got to get out of here.
You can't. The police have the place surrounded.
She called the police?
This lady came in
Oh,
and...
that's better.
Oh.
The window's stuck.
You wash windows too.
Huh?
She's right in here, boys.
Go!
How do you know he had to?
You ought to see it. Guns and dogs and flashing lights. I bet this gets on television tonight. I told him to arrest anyone running out of this building.
Is she?
No.
Is she?
Yes!
I don't see how you can get any doctoring done with all this commotion.
It's a busy day.
Well, I'm going to lunch without him. If you see that jerk, tell him he can find his own supper too.
When can I see the doctor? I think I may be infected. And the ice cream's melting all over the carpet.
Oh no. All over the carpet.
Not to worry. I'll clean it up.
Why are they arresting my wife?
What?
She just went running out to her car, and 3 policemen tackled her on the ground.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, it was a good clean tackle.
Not her, you idiots.
Is she?
Right there.
Oh no.
Do I know that person?
What person?
Mr. Bradbury? Of course you know him, Doctor. He's in here for his annual exam.
Is that ice cream melting all over the carpet?
I'll clean it up.
Don't go in there.
Is she?
Go in there.
But what about Mr. Bradbury?
Oh no. How'd you get...
I crawled through the ductwork.
Did we call a plumber?
She's UPS.
They deliver through ductwork?
The police have some woman in handcuffs.
That's my wife.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, women change sometimes. You think you know them and then...
All I could find were these cloths.
I'm gone.
Those are Mr. Bradbury's pants.
He just jumped out the window.
Without his pants?
He looked rather scared.
I thought the window was stuck.
He went through the glass. Who's that?
The plumber.
You clogged up?
That was Mr. Bradbury.
Hey! I know you!
Get out of here.
Ah! I'm dying!
Slipped in the ice cream.
I'm dying.
You're the woman who tried to run me over.
Help me.
Why, you little... Edith?
Mama?
It's my long-lost daughter. Edith!
Mama! I found you!
Harold!
Sweetheart, you escaped.
Some naked old man
Naked old man!
went running in front of a police car and I helped out. Are you ready for lunch?
I've got a few appointments and...
No, you don't.
What?
I'm canceling all appointments. I'm canceling all patients. I'm canceling the entire day. And if I feel like it, I may cancel tomorrow. I want you all out of here now.
But this is my office?
Too bad, Harold. You people are driving me nuts. Out!
But...
Out, out, out!
Come on, Edith!
My leg, Mama! My leg!
Move it, Harold. We've got some explaining to do to the police.
Yes, dear.
Ring, ring, ring.
Darn phone. Still missing that foot? Look, just No, not today. This place will kill you.
Spartans, what is your profession? Haru, ahu, ahu. That quote is from the movie 300, which is based on the Battle of Thermopylae, which took place in the year 480 BC. Today, I'm going to tell you about the Battle of Thermopylae. I will begin with the reasons for the battle. Then we'll battle through the advantages and disadvantages both sides had, and we'll slice and dice through the days of the bloody battle. The main reason for the Battle of Thermopylae is the spreading Persian Empire. In the year 481 BC, Darius, king of Persia, had just conquered the land of Macedonia, neighbors to the Greek city-states. The ancient historian Herodotus tells us that in the year 491 BC, Darius sent representatives to each of the Greek city-states, demanding earth and water, or asking for Greek submission. The Greek city-states reacted differently to these representatives. The city-state of Athens, for example, held a trial, found the representative guilty, and punished him to death. The city-state of Sparta was a little more straightforward and kicked the Persian into a well, effectively declaring war on Persia. Now Darius was not happy about his refusal of his demands, and in 491 BC he also began to amass an army to take over the Greek city-states. In 490 BC, he began his march to the Battle of Marathon, where an alliance of Greeks repelled him. Darius was not pleased with his defeat and began to make an even bigger army to completely subjugate the Greeks. But the Encyclopedia Americana tells us, published 1986, tells us Darius died 4 years later, and he would never get to see his goal accomplished. But he was replaced by Xerxes I, who would lead the Persians in the Battle of Thermopylae. In 481 BC, the Persians were ready to march, and the Greeks once more formed an alliance and chose to battle the Persians at the pass of Thermopylae. King Leonidas of Sparta was chosen to lead the offense. Now, let's slice and dice. Let's battle through the advantages and disadvantages both sides had. The most obvious advantage in the Battle of Thermopylae is the sheer size of the Persian army. Major General Sir John Frederick Maurice tells us that there is 210,000 Persians at the Battle of Thermopylae, compared to only 4,000 Greeks. The Greeks were outnumbered 50-1. But the Greeks were not afraid. When one Spartan, Dionysius, was told the Persian arrows would be so numerous they would blot out the sun, he replied with, "We shall fight in the shade." The Greek courage is one of their great advantages, and statements like that prove it. Some mothers would even engrave with it or on it onto her child's shield, saying they should come back alive and victorious, or they shouldn't come back at all. Another advantage that the Greeks had was their armor. Each Greek soldier had a shield 3 feet in diameter, made of wood and often coated in bronze. Each Greek soldier also had a helmet, a bronze muscle cuirass, and a set of greaves to protect their legs. According to Encyclopedia Americana, published 1786, each Greek soldier also had a spear, which would be 8 to 9 foot in length. And these spears would often be made with bronze spear tips on both ends. Each Greek soldier also had a zythos, or short sword, for close-range combat. But the best Greek advantage was their strategy of the phalanx. In a phalanx formation, each Greek soldier's shield overlaps the shield of the person next to them, creating an overlapping shield wall. The front rank of this wall would jab underneath their shields with their spears, while the ranks behind would jab up above. When a soldier in the front rank died, a soldier from behind would often take their place. But because of the fact that they're also fighting for the people next to them, each Greek soldier was encouraged to give 100%, because since all Greek males were in the military, the people next to them would be their friends or their relatives. because their strategy was much greater than the Persian strategy of overwhelming the Greeks with sheer numbers. But because of their strategy, they had to have extensive training, and no training was more extensive than the Spartans. According to Sophia Archibald in her book, Ancient Greeks, published in 1991, at birth, if a Spartan child was deemed weak, it was left to die. At the age of 7, a Spartan boy would be taken from his mother to begin his training. And after 13 years of training, he would finally join the Spartan military at the age of 20. Now, let's battle through the days of the battle. Let's slice and dice through the days of the battle itself. On the first day, Xerxes sent his troops with corpses from the Battle of Marathon to take the pass. They soon found themselves in a headlong charge, and Xerxes watched as his troops were massacred with few Greek fatalities. Having seen the Greek strength, he sent his 10,000 elite troops, known as immortals because when one died, another would take their place, to take the pass. And even his elite troops were not strong enough to take it. Excuse me. On the second day of the battle, Xerxes sent 50,000 troops to take the pass. And even that size of an army was not good enough to beat the Greeks. But at the night of the second day, Xerxes' troops were led around the pass by a traitor, Ephialtes. The Greeks, having heard of their betrayal, held a war meeting the morning of the third day, where they decided who would stay and who would leave. All the Greeks left except for 700 Thespians and 300 Spartans. At the beginning of the battle on the third day, the 700 Thespians ran forward and surrendered and were shot down by the Persian archers. The Spartans were also shot down by the archers. Today, I've told you about the Battle of Thermopylae. Its legacies carry on now, 2,500 years later. It's the topic of many movies, graphic novels, and even some speeches. We still study the events leading up to the Battle of Thermopylae, such as the Persian conquest and the Battle of Marathon. The advantages and disadvantages that gave the Greeks an advantage and the Persian advantages still apply to battles today. And we still study the days of the battle itself. As you can see, the Battle of Thermopylae is an important battle in Western civilization and the world.
And your first name?
Macy and Macy.
Okay, Macy.
When the doctor told me, I can't remember how I felt. I remember my mother gasping for air, which I suppose was a correct response. After the first two sentences, I stopped listening. Dr. Shea's mouth just kept moving, but all I remember was thinking, she should clean her glasses. How could she possibly see through those lips? When Dr. Shea leaned across her desk and said, "Do you have any questions?" I simply nodded, looked at Mom, and said, "Can we go home now?" You never really know how much your life means to you until it's about to slip away from you. An Ice Cream for Dinner by Donna Marie Hill. Carrie attempts to tell you so much what we take for granted in our lives. Ice Cream for Dinner by Donna Marie Hill. You would think, like in the movies, it'd be a cold or rainy day, but it wasn't. The drive home was warm, and I loved the feeling of the sun coming through the glass. Mom turned on the radio station I love and she hates, one Memory Button number 6. And I listened to it, knowing full well how much she had hated it. Head-banging music, she called it, loud and disrespectful. How can you possibly understand what they're saying? I won't have you listening to music about killing people and drugs and rape and sex. She can never say, like if you don't say about things, they're not going to happen. Yeah, right. I guess she was pretty wrong today. The car was stopping. I must have fallen asleep again, as I've been prone to do too the medications have the same effect. Last week, I slept for an entire day. Do you want anything? She said when we got inside. Yeah, I thought, my teenage rebellion surfacing for a bit. I'd like to live to be 100, 50, 25, 17. Can you do 17? Can I have one more birthday? Can I? No, I said, I'm just going to go up to my room. Really, why ask for something I know I can't have? It's funny. When you're near death, you pay attention to the strangest things. Things you looked at it a million times, but somehow never see. Like the lines of dust under the staircase, or in the bathroom where the border doesn't match. Did you know, in my room, my blinds hanged about a cropped inch on the right. I want to sleep, but I know I shouldn't. Why give up on time I have left? What I should do, in this age of the internet and instant information, is find out more about my condition. Search out bulletin boards and find others who are going through this. And what? Share my misery? No, I'd rather keep it all to myself. Maybe because I was an only child, I was never good at sharing things or emotions. I looked around my room with fresh eyes. See the dress that Jenny made me buy? Long and shimmering. You'll look so good. The guys will absolutely drool over you. Yeah, right. After that seizure last week in school, what the guys think is I'm a total spaz. And what about you, Jenny? You come around less and less, just like everyone else. You know it's not contagious. You know you're not going to get it. I know the big prom is coming and you and Beth and Lisa all have to firm up and trim down. But I can't walk that track anymore. I'm lucky if I can make it downstairs to dinner some nights. And Beth with her jealous green eyes, wishing she had my figure. Oh, Carrie, if I could only look like you. You have such great skin and such a wonderful figure and such a great bone structure. Bone structure? Seriously? Someone is actually jealous of my bone structure? Anyway, Beth knows she looks good. She has those perfect teeth. Her body's fine. She knows she looks good, but she always needs confirmation. And Lisa, with her makeup and X-Lax, how to empty out the insides and fix up the outside, she spent a fortune on makeup a few weeks ago at the mall. Though, I have to admit, when she practiced on me, I did look good. We all looked good on the outside. But later, I remember taking off that same makeup and thinking about Hannah. She's this chubby little girl with glasses who always says hi to me. She's in a lot of same classes I'm in. And yesterday, she just came up to me with this really big smile of imperfect teeth. Her family's poor. They can't afford her. And she said, if you're not going to the prom, you can come over to my house. We can rent movies and have a movie-a-thon. Or we can just talk. Just like that, she offered him the invite. My instinct was to laugh at her right then and there. Give up a night for the prom, or to the prom for a night at Hannah's house. Yeah, right. And I could see Beth crackling about it if I told her. That is, if I told her. But I'm not going to tell her, because I'm actually thinking about going to Hannah's house. There was something about her smile, imperfect teeth and all, that made me feel okay. Just for a second. Like a warm blanket on a chilly night. So forget about the guy thing. Oh well. What can I do? This is what I've been dealt. Oh, I did the screaming and the cursing and the crying during my anger stage. I smashed my poor swollen head against the wall so hard, I was hospitalized for 2 days. They sent some old guy in to talk to me. If he asked if I understood why I was there, I said, yeah, I'm pregnant. His face got all funny and he checked his notes over and over again. And then I just stared at him, calmly, until he realized I knew exactly what was going on. Oops, I said, I'm not giving birth, I'm about to lose him. Yeah, lose it. And there it was, in the void. I was about to lose my life. And I could see you. But it's okay. I have a few more weeks, maybe even a month. Then the worst will start occurring, and Mom will have to send me somewhere. She says I don't have to go if I don't want to, but I can't do that. Not to her, not to me, not even to Dad. Even though I am the one who is ill, I will take a piece of everyone's lives I've ever touched. Hopefully, I'll pass somewhere peaceful, yet peace will invade those I leave behind. We never talk about it. Never say the words dying, tumor, or death. In their way, they are trying. Mom said I could have a party if I wanted. Invite as many people as I wanted, girls or guys. If it was just too many, we'd rent a hall. Dad said we could go on vacation anywhere I wanted to go. Money didn't matter. Which is funny, because before I was near dead, I was told how inconvenient or how I was too young. That is, before I was dying. The privileges of death, they call it. I no longer have to do anything. Clean my room, do dishes. I'm probably the only 16-year-old girl who has ice cream for dinner. A big, huge bowl, probably 1,000 calories or more, loaded with fat and cholesterol. And I don't care. It's not like it matters. I'm gonna die anyway. Last night, Mom had ice cream with me too. I think she learned the secret. So much of what we think matters doesn't. Which is why, tonight, not only for dinner do I think I'll have ice cream, but I think I'm gonna throw some sprinkles on there too.
Truly existed. Okay, now pretend you're this little kid who's just been told by your parents, if you don't eat your veggies, the Jabberwocky's going to eat you. Would you be scared? Without a doubt. Would those veggies be eaten? Absolutely. Who in their right mind is going to take on a Jabberwocky? The Jabberwocky is just one mythological character, but there are many others, such as monsters, unicorns, and phoenixes. So let's take a closer look at these mythological characters through a few poets' eyes. Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig, and the silky toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome-raths about to crave.
Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Juju bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch.
He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the minxen foe he sought. So he rested by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while and thought. And as in uppish spot he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes aflame, came whimpering through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. And 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vorpal blade went snicker, snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back.
And hast thou slain that Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, Francis J. Calloo, Cully!
He chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the silky toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome-raths out to crave. The poet Elizabeth Connell describes our next mythological character in an unusual way. Instead of praising their needlepoint horns and sleek, graceful bodies, she focuses more on their thoughts and feelings. So take a deep breath before we dive into the mind of this mystical beast in The Unicorn by Elizabeth Connell. Look into her eyes. What do you see? Do you see you there, or something so different? She is not like you. Her soul is too pure. She's one of them. She's a unicorn. Do you know what a unicorn is? Do you know where they go to play? She knows. Look into her own eyes. She has seen them play, and she has seen them laugh. She's a unicorn, far different from you. I'm with her now because I am one too. Another mythological character that we often find in poetry is the phoenix. We will trace the phoenix's progress through the ages as it is reborn from the ashes in The Phoenix Bird by Hans Christian Andersen. In the Garden of Paradise, beneath the tree of knowledge, there bloomed a rose bush. Here, in the first rose, a bird was born. His flight was like the flashing of light. His plumage was beauteous, and his song ravishing. But when Eve plucked the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, when she and Adam were driven from paradise, there fell from the flaming sword of the cherub a spark into the nest of the bird, which blazed up forthwith. The bird perished in the flames, but from the red egg of the nest there fluttered aloft a new one, the one solitary phoenix bird. The fable tells that he dwells in Arabia, and that every 100 years he burns himself to death in his nest. But each time a new phoenix, the only one in the world, rises up from the red egg. The bird flutters round us, swift as light, beauteous in color, and charming in song. When a mother sits by her infant's cradle, he stands on the pillow, and with his wings forms a glory round the infant's head. He flies through the chamber of content, and brings the sunshine into it, and the violets on the humble table smell doubly sweet. But the phoenix is not the bird of Arabia alone. He wings his way in the glimmer of the northern lights over the plains of Lapland, and hops among the yellow flowers in the short Greenland summer. Beneath the copper mountains of Fablan, and in its coal mines he flies, in the shape of a dusty moth, over the hymn book that rests on the knees of the pious miner. On a lotus leaf he floats down the sacred waters of the Ganges, and the eye of the Hindu maid gleams bright when she beholds him. The phoenix bird, dost thou not know him? The bird of paradise, the holy swan of song. On the carved thespis he sat in the guise of a chattering raven, and flapped his black wings smeared with the lees of wine. Over the sounding harp of Iceland swept the swan's red beak. On Shakespeare's shoulder he sat in the guise of Odin's raven, and whispered in the poet's ear, immortality. And at the minstrel's feast he fluttered through the halls of the Wartburg. The phoenix bird, dost thou not know him? He sang to thee the Marseillaise, and thou kissed the pen that fell from his wing. He came in the radiance of paradise, and, perchance, thou didst turn away from him towards the sparrow who sat with tinsel on his wings. The bird of paradise, renewed each century, born in flame, ending in flame. Thy picture, in a golden frame, hangs in the halls of the rich. But thou thyself often fliest around, lonely and disregarded, a myth, the phoenix of Arabia. In paradise, when thou wert born in the first rose, beneath the tree of knowledge, thou receivest a kiss, and thy right name is given thee. Thy name, poetry. They skulked in all those places we feared as a child, in the dark basement, in the closet shrouded with cobwebs, and, worst of all, under our beds. 11-year-old Dana Walshaw teaches us the true personality of this last mythical monster in Little Monsters by Dana Walshaw.
All monsters are mean and frightening, never to be trusted. Some can look harmless and hairy, but deep down, they are monsters. Big or small, they could be lurking behind a wall or in a bin. You never know what could awaken their true feelings. They're monsters. Every one of them is unique in the way they scare anyone and everyone they choose to meet. Instantly, their faces tell you they're monsters. All monsters are mean and frightening, except me. I'm the little monster that no one's scared of. I'm cute, but naughty. That's me.
Boss off of me. I'm going. Jeez, as if we didn't have a day. Hey, doctor, ¿me puede decir al oficial que me deje en paz? Oh, ¿no habla español? Doc, did you see that? She just pushed me. She just ambushed me. That is assault. I could be pressing some charges right about now. Pat is very angry. Felicia is a sweet little girl, and Kaylee is a seductress. Watch how they all come together in Multiple Personality Murder by Deborah Krasweski. you doing? How you doing? Me? Oh, great, super, you know, just having the time of my life. Oh, but hey, they did give me a new roomie yesterday. Some sniveling, snot-nosed wimp who cried all night. I mean, can you believe it? I told her that if she didn't stop crying, I'd be putting her face through the wall. That did the trick. What? No, I was the sweetest could be. I said, nice to meet you. My name is Pat. And if you don't be quiet, then I'm going to shove your stinking snot-nosed face right through that wall. She was as quiet as could be after that. But you know what it's like to lose your beauty sleep? That's how it works with people. They push, and they push, and they push, and they won't back off until you put some fear into them. You know? Because some people think they can do whatever they want. They don't care who they hurt. They sure don't care who they disturb. They think they can treat you like a toy. Like a toy, you know? Like an animal. Like if you were some stinking ashtray. Where am I? Alicia scared. Oh, hi, Mr. Doctor. I was so scared. I waked up. And oh, where's my dolly? And why am I in these handcuffs? Hurts, doctor. Hurts. I'm the good girl. I'm not the bad cowboy. The sheriff puts the bad cowboy in handcuffs because he's trying to hurt the good girl, but I'm the good girl. I'm not the bad cowboy. Please take these handcuffs off. Please. Yay! Yay, thank you so much, Sheriff Lady. Alicia's hungry. Oh, wait, I know. Don't say Alicia, say Felicia. Big girls don't talk baby talk. That's what my mommy says. Felicia, you be a good girl now. Do not make Mr. Daddy mad. You do not want to see him mad. Mr. Daddy gets so mean when he's mad. See the boo-boo? See? Another boo-boo? Why does your daddy put his cigarettes on Alicia? Alicia's a good girl. Alicia's not an ashtray. Doctor. A girl takes a little nap and you begin to remove her clothing. Shame on you. Like the new nail polish? It's called Hot House Wax. We haven't officially met, have we? You can call me Kaylee. What can I call you? Oh, excuse me, Doctor. Wouldn't want to rock the boat now, would we? Let's a switch. A guy who's not interested? What is it? Prefer boy? Or are we married? Is this your girlfriend? As if that would matter. My mom had a trainload of boyfriends, and that didn't stop any of them. What? Mr. Daddy? How'd you hear about him? Can you believe that? Us, kids, having to call him Mr. Daddy. Didn't matter that Didn't even know my own daddy. Didn't matter that he and my mom were only shacking up. I still have to call him Mr. Daddy. And he was no daddy, that's for sure. He'd start drinking. And he'd get all friendly. A little bit too friendly, if you ask me. And I'd fight back, you know. I'd kick, and I'd bite, but it made no difference. He would just take out his cigarette and light it up until the tip was bright red. And I could see him coming closer, and closer, and closer, and closer! Who does he think he is, treating people like that? Treating people like animals, like ashtrays? People aren't ashtrays. I went in a mom's bedroom. I started dumping out everything in the room because I knew it was there somewhere. But I could hear him pounding, and pounding, and yelling, and I could hear him coming closer. But I knew it was there, somewhere.